Hey, welcome to today's edition of the Gripe Session podcast. We definitely appreciate you checking out the Gripe Session as always. And guess what? We're going to get into it right now.
It's Gripe Session time with your host, George Wanaka.
It's about nothing.
Discussing everything from real estate, current events, a little bit of everything, and the annoying little things that just tick you off.
You can't handle the truth.
What? You didn't know?
Here's your host, George
Your
Wanaka.
ass better call somebody.
Hey, welcome to today's edition on the Gripe Session podcast. There's something that really just hit recently that I had to talk about. By the time this comes out, it might be a little bit of old news, but you know what? We're going to get into it right now. By the way, as always, if you know of anybody looking to buy, sell, invest in any form of real estate, any place in the country, you got to do me a favor. You got to shoot me an email over here. That's the first thing. Or if you're not email, shoot me a text over on this number over here, or reach out to me on any of the social medias that are right over here. DM me, send me any messages that you have about the real estate market, real estate industry in general. I'll be happy to answer them and try to help you out the best that I can. But since now that we're done with that, let's get into it. So one of the things that President Biden has most recently done as part of his budget that not a lot of people are knowing about, because, there's that, really huge book that they call the quote unquote budget, which nobody freaking reads. Well, there's something in there that if you invest in real estate, you might have a little bit of a problem with. As always, one of the things that people always talk about when it comes to real estate is when you invest in real estate over time appreciates. And you know what also appreciates? The fact that the government loves the fact that real estate does appreciate. And they appreciate it a lot as well, because what that means is, hopefully, now I got more money that I can tax to become your partner in real estate. Now, yes, I did say that accurately, to become your partner. Now, one of the ways to get around paying taxes if you have a massive appreciation in wealth when it comes to real estate is something that is called a 1031 exchange. Now, all a 1031 exchange does is that if you are selling a piece of property, and if you are going to buy another piece of property, essentially move your money from point A to point B, okay? When you sell that property, you don't pay any gains on that property. You're just moving them into another property. So what it does is it moves your tax rate down, or any taxes that you owe down the road from when you finally cash out or sell an individualized property. Okay? What they're attempting to do now is get rid of that provision. Get rid of it. Well, we're going to get right back to the Gripe Session podcast, but before we do, we got to have a word from our sponsors over here at bestguyever.com. Make sure you never forget an important date ever again. Never forget any important dates with your wife, your daughter, your sister, your mother, or your mother-in-law for that matter. We want you here to be the bestguyever.com. And by the way, bestguyever.com helps your local small businesses. So it is a win-win for you. Not only can you be the bestguyever.com for those people that love you, but you can also support your local small businesses, because bestguyever.com only deals with local small businesses. That's right. So make sure you get to www.bestguyever.com and subscribe. And by the way, let them know that you found out from us from the Gripe Session podcast. And because you're coming from the Gripe Session, we were able to get you a little bit of a deal for them as well. What's that deal, you say? Well, once you register, put in Gripe Session in the promo code. That's Gripe Session. And you're going to get 1 year free subscription to be the best guy ever. That's right. 1 free subscription by putting in Gripe Session in your promo code, and you're going to get a year for free. You can't have it any better than that. So make sure you go check out bestguyever.com and let them know the Gripe Session pulled you in. And now, back to our local program. Now, as an example, if a piece of property is looking to sell around $1.5 million, the government is going to come in and take a tremendous portion of that money in what they call capital gains based off of what you purchased that property for. Now, I have a client who bought a piece of property for around $200,000. So that's a pretty nice appreciation over 20, 30 years, wouldn't you say? Of course it is. Everybody wants that. Here's the problem. The problem is, not only in New York do you have to pay transfer taxes on that property, but you also have to pay gains from the $200,000 to the $1.5 million. So you have to pay gains, capital gains on $1.3 million. Now, a 1031 exchange would allow you to not be taxed, but be moved that money someplace else without paying those gains of taxes. Now, just so everybody has a generalized idea, on $1.5 million on a $200,000 tax base with transfer taxes and with a 1031 exchange, you're looking at, if somebody didn't reinvest it and do a 1031 exchange, you are looking at approximately a $450,000 tax bill. Yeah, I said that correctly. A $450,000 tax bill for a property that for 30 years you as a seller or homeowner maintained. Blood, sweat, and tears went into that. Made all your mortgage payments. Better yet, made all your real estate tax payments. Oh yeah, you've made real estate tax payments over 30 years. And now the government still wants their piece. Hey, we're just going to take a real quick break from the gripe session. We're going to get right back to it, but we want to bring you another word from one of our sponsors here, which is SearchStatenIsland.com. Yes, one of the things that I do every single day is I'm a real estate practitioner. I am a licensed realtor. I am a appraiser. I'm also a mortgage broker. So why do you ask any of those questions? Well, quite frankly, because if you have any questions on real estate in any part of the country, all you have to do is reach out to me. Go to www.searchstatenisland.com or find me on the social media platforms. And there's a very good opportunity that I'll be able to help you regardless of whether or not if you're in New York where I'm home based, or if you're someplace out in, whether it be Utah or Texas or somebody out there. There's a very good chance that I will be able to help you regardless, because I have contacts throughout the country and I would be able to make sure my clients are always taken care of. So make sure you check out www.searchstatenisland.com. And now back to our program. A 1031 exchange would allow you to move that money into another investment. But now our wonderful government, which has a massive spending problem, not an income problem. We have a spending problem. Make it very, very clear here. We're like, oh, well, let's get rid of the 1031 exchange and then we can now make up all this revenue from. I know all landlords are homeowners, or they're all, all evil people. No, these are hardworking Americans that have worked their rear ends off, saved for the American dream, are looking to then move those properties or move that money to someplace else and invest it. And the government wants to come in and say they want to be your partner too. How many of my listeners think that that's fair? It's not. That's a problem. And I would implore you, wherever you're watching this, to write to your elected official and make sure that they are 1,000% against the elimination of 1031 exchanges. And if you are a fellow agent or realtor, I would implore you to make sure you're making your RPAC contributions on a federal level to your congressperson, to your state senator, your senator, your national senator, whoever they might happen to be, and say, I do not want the 1031 exchange to go down. For your sake, but better yet, for your client's sake. With that being said, I hope everyone learned something brand new here today. But with that being said, I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you again for watching. We definitely appreciate all of your support. And make sure you do something nice for somebody that you wouldn't normally do. And we'll catch you on the next edition of The Gripe Session. Peace.
Thanks for listening to The Gripe Session. Please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.